Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi. I don't know if you recognized me, I got dark hair now. With me, I have a 2023 Sportage LX all-wheel drive. We have done a video on this vehicle already, this exact vehicle. However, now we want to do a full walk around, and I also want to point out that this one's actually available for sale. So we just put plates on it because we were going to do it as a service loaner. But before we do that, we wanted to offer it up for sale. It's got 29 kilometers on it, not 29,000. Under the hood, we have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder GDI engine matched with an 8-speed auto transmission. Of course, all-wheel drive. The trim below is just front wheel, same features though. Price tag on this one is $30,395 plus your taxes and fees. Our dealership does not charge over MSRP. We do not do markups, whatever, add-ons unless you want them. And we'd be happy to help you out if you are interested in this vehicle. I'm actually a salesperson, so I can help you out myself. So before we go any further, let's get into the vehicle. All right, so I just turned the lights on so you can get a good feel for what the LEDs look like. So you have this very, very sharp, almost like an arrow LED, very distinct. You can tell a Sportage is coming up at nighttime, and they are quite bright as well too. You got some more LEDs inside there. Just a really, really cool design for the Sportage. Even the old body style, they had pretty funky headlights, but I think these ones are much more sharp and fresh, new, modern. Over in your front grille, sorry, I don't know if I'm having major glare right now. It is all blacked out, so you have some actual slots here for your radiator and everything, and then on the sides it's just solid black, so no grille slots. Makes it a little easier to clean as well too. Then on the lower end of the vehicle, you just have straight lines, so also quite easy to clean. Take a cloth, run it right through. All right, so I'm going to run inside and turn on the hazard so you can see what your hazard lights look like. Give me 1 second. This floor is very slippery. Okay, so hazards on. We'll take a look at that. Really, really nice amber lights. Over here you have your side turn signal markers. You notice that they are not on your mirrors, so they're added over there. I also want to point out the beautiful 17-inch alloy wheels. So these are exclusive to the LX trims on the new Sportage. You have a mix of brushed aluminum and some black as well too. So a nice shiny, almost like piano black there. I think this pattern looks almost like a starfish. It's pretty cool. And then new Kia logos for your center caps. All right, so also what you get is black along the bottom of the vehicle and in your wheel wells, matched with a little bit of a aluminum finish. Your handles are body colored, so this specific vehicle is snow white pearl in color. Some more chrome follows up here, followed by some texture. So you'll notice the highlight of this video is this vehicle is all about texture. And then for your rear lights, or your tail lights, you have a nice sharp accent as well too. This shape is very similar. I don't even know what the shape is called, but it's very similar to your door handles. So we'll go into that in a second. And it's a little bit blacked out as well too. So a lot of people my age, or maybe even older, I don't know, they like to smoke out their turn signals. You don't have to do that here. They're already pretty dark. Then back here you just have a nice line all across the vehicle. I'm gonna hit the brakes and show you what your brakes look like. Give me 1 second. Did you see it? Did you catch that? All right, and then of course the same design elements follow through to the left side of the vehicle. So now that we got the exterior covered, we're gonna hop in and show you what's on the inside. Okay, so now we're on the driver's side of the Sportage. I'm gonna show you what's on the door. Starting off with our funky handles, just like our taillights, it's a very similar shape. I have no idea how to describe that shape other than funky. So you can pull it like that, and it's actually quite easy to grab. Some door handles, when they try to go from the traditional shape, they're a little weird to hold and grab and actually use, but this is still very normal. And then you also get this almost carbon fiber-esque trim line piece. So it does have texture, it's not just a flat surface. Some ASMR for you guys. It is quite nice. I do like how it adds some more depth and color to the vehicle. When everything's all black or all one color, it can look very washed out and boring. So this adds a lot of fun and texture to the vehicle. Over here you have your mirror controls, so left or right for your mirrors, lock and unlock, your window controls, and your window locks. So this to choose which mirror, and then this to adjust the mirrors. Down here you have a little storage pocket as well as a cup holder. Even though it says no drinks, I won't tell. You can put drinks in here. It's okay. And then down here you have another piece of aluminum finish as well too, to kind of add some more color into your life. You do have a light there as well too. I think that's worth noting. I don't know when it comes on, but there's a light there. And then I'll have Charlotte come a little closer. I'll show you what's over here. So another fun shape for your vents. I really like how it's just not traditional and boring. It is tying in really nicely with the rest of the design of the cabin. Over here you have your brightness selector, so you can adjust the brightness as needed. If it's too hard for you at nighttime, too bright, you can dull it down. Over here, traction control, so if you want to do some cool drifts in the parking lot, you can put that on. And then over here you have your electronic parking brake. So this is kind of a weird spot for it because a lot of our vehicles have it here or they have a foot one. It just takes some getting used to. But once you get used to it, you know it's there. So now on the left side of the steering wheel, we have our lighting selector or light controls. So you can have it on daytime running lights, your full headlamp, or auto. Most people have it on auto just because it's easier. You don't set it once, don't have to think about it. Also your turn signal and auto high beam assist. So what that does is you would put on your high beams, and what it does is if another vehicle comes by, you're driving on a country road, it senses another car, it'll shut your high beams off. Not to blind them, because these lights are pretty darn bright. I don't know if you've ever been on the other end, the receiving end. My old vehicle did not have bright headlights, and I would go blind every time someone hit me with their lights. So please be a nice person, use your automatic high beam assist. There we go. I will go through what's on the steering wheel as well too. So this is pretty standard. You have your talk button here, which works really nicely with the Apple CarPlay, which is wireless. I'll show you that in a second. So you can do voice commands there, say call mom or call whoever. Volume controls for your radio or Bluetooth audio, whatever you're listening to. This phone button is to answer a phone call. Here is a favorite button. So you can set this to whatever you'd like, whether you go to SiriusXM a lot or whatever. Any media system you use most often, that's going to be your quick, easy way to get there, a shortcut. Mode is going to select your different media modes, so to take you between SiriusXM, Bluetooth, AM, FM, whatever radio. Over here is your cluster select. So we will get in depth into that once Charlotte joins me in the cabin. And then over here you have your cruise control. So you press that to turn it on, here to set your speed, and then here to pause or reset. This button over here is your lane follow assist. So you do have a camera right behind your rear view mirror here that picks up the lane markers. If there's no lane markers, it will pick up the vehicle ahead of you, keep you centered in your lane, and kind of adjust the steering for you. If you don't like that, you can turn it off. All of these features you can turn off if you don't like them, but they're here for you if you want them. So I'll have Charlotte join me in this Sportage and we'll get into the rest. All right, so now we are in the cabin of the Sportage LX all-wheel drive. I went through the steering wheel controls. Now I'm going to show you the cluster really quickly. So to access your cluster menus, you use this kind of notepad looking button here, and then these two arrows on the lever there. So right now I'm on drive info. This will just be your trip and your fuel economy. You can also cycle between since refueling. So like I said, this vehicle only has 29 kilometers on it. It is brand new, so it literally went for its road test, and when I drove it to the car wash today, that is it. And then down here, accumulated info, so just total lifespan, and then auto stop. So if I press this button now, it'll take me to our next set of menus, which is user settings. Driver assistance is all selected through here. So if I just press that down, you can set your speed limit warning. So speed limit offset, this will adjust, or you can set how you want your speed limit to warn you. So if you're going under, above, you're getting near, I really don't care for this feature, so I'm gonna leave it at 0. Speed limit assist will actually slow you down if you're going above the speed limit or warn you. And then warning is a warning. You can also have it off. I'm just gonna turn it off for now. We'll go back, warning timing. If you want your warnings to be a little bit later, you think it's a little too soon, you can adjust it there. Warning volume, if you think your alerts are a little too loud, you can adjust there. Driver attention warning. So this will tell you if the vehicle in front of you has left. So not only does this work if you're at a red light that suddenly turns green, it also works for drive-thrus. So every time I talk about a car, I feel like it works great in drive-thrus, but like that's when I notice it. So if the vehicle ahead of you has moved and you weren't really paying attention, you were talking, whatever, it'll tell you, it'll give you a volume alert and a visual alert. It'll say lead vehicle has departed or something. It says something like that along those lines. Usually I'm just like, okay, time to go. So, and then a volume alert. Inattentive driving is if you start to veer to the left and right of your lanes. So that's going to be your lane keep assist, lane follow assist that detects that. And then I'll go back, forward safety. So this is your forward collision warning. You can have it off, the warning only, or an active assist, which will actually brake for you. Lane safety, this is for your vehicle kind of steering itself in your lanes. You can have same thing, an actual assist, warning, or everything off. So like I said, all these features, they're optional. So if you find there's one that you really like, one that you don't like so much, you can just turn it off. You can turn them all off, turn them all on. You're not going to ruin anything within your vehicle. You're not making a permanent choice. You can totally change it later on. We'll go back, cluster. You can change the cluster theme if you like. It doesn't do much, but it does change the colors. So you notice it's purple now. I'll go to theme B and it's a red. Theme C, it's like a cyan color. Or you can link it to your drive modes. So sport would be red, for example. Welcome sound, I always have this on because I think it's really nice when the car plays a little chime for you. An icy road warning will alert you when you're in freezing conditions to just drive carefully, which I think is very sweet of the vehicle. It's nice to have someone who cares. And then lights, you can change the illumination, the turn signal. So when you do a quick little tap, whether it displays 3 flashes or 5, you can change it. Then your high beam assist, you can shut it off here if you don't like it, your headlight delay and whatnot. Door, you can change if you need 2 unlocks to unlock all the doors, 1. Auto unlock, lock, horn feedback if you don't like when it beeps at you. Convenience, so this is a feature that's actually quite cool. If the vehicle senses that you've opened the door and then closed it, it thinks that, hey, someone probably is sitting back there, whether it's a pet or a child, or even if you just put luggage there, it'll tell you to check your rear seats as soon as you turn off your vehicle, which is quite nice. And then oil change reminders, your service intervals are all located here as well. Another cool thing you can do is change your units. So if you do some driving to the States or somewhere else that uses different temperature or systems, you can change that. Next, I'll go to your all-wheel drive torque distribution. So this will not be in the vehicle below the front-wheel drive. You can also see your tire pressure. Quite cool. Then your attention levels here, and your lane safety settings are here. So you can see you can drive with whatever one you'd like. Most people like to just have their fuel efficiency with them, so I'll put it back to that menu. Next, we're going to move on to the center display. So this is what your main screen is going to look like. I did set up my phone to Apple CarPlay, which is wireless in this term, by the way. So, sorry about that. We just had someone walk through. You can have your phone menu here, your media menu, so whether you're listening to music from your phone or an iPod, whatever it may be, you can get there quickly. FM, if I pressed over here, it would take me over to a radio system. So I'll just press CarPlay. This is going to be my phone and my apps. So some of the apps I have that work with Apple CarPlay or Google Maps. I like Google Maps much more than Apple Maps. It's so much better. So you can see the vehicle doesn't have built-in navigation, but if I have this open, it's the same thing. If not, it might be a little bit better because it updates real time. I also have my music, so my Spotify. If you have Apple Music, it'll be there too. Also my phone, so you can see my mom. She's my favorite, my only favorite. I don't know if that's kind of sad, but. And then plug share as well too, WhatsApp. Another cool thing is calendars. If you're someone who uses your calendars a lot too to schedule meetings, times, dates, whatever, you can check that before you head off to your destination. Another cool thing it does is if I have this open, it'll have your music, a quick go, and voice operation for the Google Maps, and then a little section of your maps as well too. So you can see your music, your maps, everything all at once. Another thing I really like is it'll show you your turn by turn as well too. Next up, we will go into, I won't talk about setup because that's just going to be like your date and time and stuff, just all the boring things. Device connections, this is where it's going to be to connect more Bluetooth devices, your display if you want to change the brightnesses, button is your favorite button, so if there's a setting in here that you go to a lot so you don't have to cycle between all your menus, quick way to get there. All right, down here you have your climate controls. So your fan speed is located on the left, temperature control on the right, and then in here is going to be all your directions. So facing you and your feet, windshield defog, rear defog. If you want to turn on your AC, there we go. Had to turn the fan on first. Then recirculated air. One of the good things about having wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is you now have 2 USBs that are actually functional for charging. So you don't have to worry about running out of chargers. So this one's a USB-C and this one's a regular USB. Then you also have a 12 volt here as well too. Over here we have 2 heated seats, so one for me and one for Charlotte, 3 different levels for both, and they work quite well. Your gear shift is located right over here. Terrain and drive modes are both on this vehicle. So with drive mode, I'll just have Charlotte pan over here. You have normal, sport, and smart. And then if I press the button down, it'll switch over to terrain where you have snow, mud, and sand. That will change your all-wheel drive torque distribution. Over here you have your downhill assist, auto hold, which is one of my favorite features. Just holds you at a stop. Auto stop and start, so when you fully come to a stop, it'll actually shut off your vehicle's engine while still leaving your media on. And then your parking camera, so you can press this and just watch your camera while you're stopped. Even when you start moving again too, your camera will stay on up until I believe it's 10 kilometers per hour, because then it becomes a distraction. Over here you have your cup holders, so 2 actual cup holders, and they retract. So if you ever have to put something bigger here, like an iPad or just a closed water bottle that you want to have on your side, whatever you might need, you can push these back into their little homes and have more room. So before we exit the Sportage, I just want to quickly show you the storage and also the design elements that are in here in the center console. So starting off with the console, there's not much going on here, but you do have some storage space. So it is quite wide and quite deep as well too. Put a lot of things in there. And then over here, besides your cup holders, you do have a good amount of space there too, and down here as well too. So phones, whatever you might need, fits in there. I'll focus on the design really quickly here. So the carbon fiber-esque trim pattern continues on all the way down throughout the end and then goes nice and seamless with your door handles, your door design. And then for your vents, the shape continues, blends in really nicely with the screen as well too, so fits well. Dark chrome or chrome and some darks as well, all the way to the end. Now I'm just gonna have Charlotte exit the vehicle, get out, no I'm joking, and then we'll show you the seats. So a cool thing that Charlotte pointed out earlier is the design pattern on your cloth seats matches the design of the carbon fiber-ish trim on the front of the vehicle. So same kind of pattern. Of course, this is much softer on your seat, but very nice. And they are such comfy seats, so they hold you quite nicely. You can adjust them height-wise and, of course, how close you are to the steering wheel. And I just think they look quite nice. Even the rear seats have the same pattern, so the design doesn't just cut off in the front. Now we'll hop into the rear and show you the back. Okay. All right, so now we're in the back of the Sportage. I just want to point out first off, I did say that the design elements maintain the same in the back, but both of these main seats have car seat anchors. In your center here, you do have an armrest or cup holders, so let me just pull it out. But it also functions as a seat as well too. I'll put that back up. And then space-wise, so with the Sportage, huge space difference, comfort difference from the previous body style. So I have tons of leg room. I haven't adjusted my seat since I got out from the driver's, and I was quite comfy driving there. Rear vents here as well too. And then a little slot here where you can put a phone or wherever you might need. The backs of the seats do have pockets as well too. So you do have good comfort here. These seats do recline as well too. So if any rear passengers want to take a snooze, you totally can here. You'd be quite comfy. All right, now let's check out our rear end. So we got tons of trunk space back here. The reason why I'm sitting back here is every time we try filming it, it is just so dark you can't see really how deep the trunk space is. So I have quite long legs for my body, and if I sit completely straight, these seats are reclined a bit, so I'm not even getting the full amount. My bottoms of my feet just reach the end of the vehicle. And then width-wise, it is wider than my total leg span. So you have a good amount of room here. And then of course the seats do fold completely down. So with these levers on the side here, just give them a pull and they fold flat. You just kind of got to give them a push to actually lock it into place to get all the way down. And then you have tons more room if you have no rear passengers. Or if you do have rear passengers, you can still pull it and it folds. And then underneath here, you do have a real spare tire and this floorboard. All right, so I'm very sorry about the outfit change and the sudden stop and the Sportage color change. We actually noticed while editing that the sound cut off for that last clip. So I was showing you the spare tire and how it actually has one. A lot of smaller size SUVs do not come with a real spare tire, so it's nice to have the peace of mind knowing you always got a spare with you. I also really wanted to show what the dawning red looks like. So this is a new color for the Sportage vehicles. It is available in the LX as well too, and it is stunning. So the lighting in this room is not doing it much justice, but let me pull out the flash on my phone and see if I can get it to sparkle a little bit. So there is a lot of tones in there. It looks stunning in the sunlight. Honestly, I think this is my favorite color for the Sportage. We will be doing more videos coming soon. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.